Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to do a little celebrating, I hope. Got my Woodford all ready to go here because we are just $670 away from 100K, which is a milestone number in crowdfunding. So I know we can do that. We can do this here live. And I thought it would be fun to have a little afternoon party. I see Hyper Kaiju just got off of work. So he says, Graham Nolan streaming. I just got off work. I think that's my cue to grab a beer. And I think we should all do that because with your help, we're going to do this. We're gonna get this baby over the six-figure mark. It's only $670. So we'll talk about the campaign. We'll show you some artwork. Maybe some friends will pop in. Who knows? And we'll have some fun this afternoon. It's finally nice and sunny here after months or weeks, I should say, of just grayness. But it doesn't matter because the sunshine is right here. And that's why the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key are in the Keys. Nice and sunny where we like it. So, where should we start? Well, let's start with the campaign itself because look at that. We had a great bump yesterday. I was on Nerdrotics and the Real BBC show with Nerd and Az, and just had a wonderful time. They couldn't have been nicer. Audience was fantastic. We had a lot of fun, poking fun at pop culture, which is easy to do right now. And the fans, maybe they hadn't heard about this campaign, possibly because it's shadow banned. And they turned out in droves. It was an incredible success yesterday with new backers coming in. There was I think when I downloaded the CSV file, there was like 130 new backers, and I suspect those are new backers that hadn't backed other Compass Comics projects. So that's great. That's what we want. We want more and more people to read our books, and share the love. That's what the fun is of all this. So as you can see, we are one backer away from 1,400, and we are $670 away from drinking. So let's get real. So let's do this today. It's going to be fun. We'll go through the campaign a little bit. A lot of you guys that are here right now have seen it. I hope you'll maybe send an email out to some friends saying that we're live right now. Give them the link. We got to share that link. There's no other way to get to this campaign because of the shadow ban. So you have to have that direct link. But the beauty of that is look at this. We're succeeding. The CG crowd is succeeding in spite of the efforts of the SJWs to close us down, to shut us up. And they do it in such a sneaky, low-down way, too. A real man would come up to you and tell you to your face, you're an idiot. I don't like you. I don't want to work with you. Whatever. But not these people. They just do it surreptitiously, hide little codes in there. And then when we confront them about it, there's radio silence. They don't talk about it. They don't address it. They just pretend it didn't happen. Just like that guy from Twitter after Elon Musk called him out. No, we don't shadow ban. There's no shadow banning. And Marvel and DC, we don't have a blacklist. We don't have a list. We just happen to know who we're not going to hire. And we tell all our editors to do that. So that's basically how it works. But the beautiful thing is that with our crowdfunding and with our great backers and chat here, we can circumvent that. We can prove them wrong. And we've been doing that very successfully. Thanks to all of you guys and your support, and showing up for things like this. This is really, really awesome. And for a guy like me, who all he ever wanted to do was to write and draw comics from the time he was 12 years old, it's especially exciting. The freedom to break away from the shackles of the corporate world, which has held an iron grip on what and what does not get published. And I lost my train of thought there. I was going with where I'm going with the whole idea here is that now I can do these things and do the kind of stories that I like to tell and that a lot of you guys like to read, because the rest of the business isn't doing that. Now, there's some good stuff out there. Don't get me wrong. I hate to sound like that angry old man, like, oh, there's nothing. There used to be the best back in my day. That's not true. There's a lot of crap back then too. The difference is that there's no gatekeepers, telling you what you can and cannot do. If you have a great idea and you execute it well, and you reach out to your backers and your fan base, they're going to like it, or at least you hope they will. Because I've always said, if I like something, somebody else is going to like it. The trick is getting lots of people to like it. And so far, so good. But the battle is still out there. The battle is to constantly be bringing in new people, new readers. That's what we want. We want more and more people reading the stuff. It's better for the industry. And then, this is about sharing your stories, sharing your ideas. And I just want to get those things out there to people for them to enjoy. Let's say a quick hello to everybody here in the chat. There's been a bunch of posts. Past Master Dan is here. How cool is that? Hail Graham Nolan. Andino Palacio is here. Hyper Kaiju. Dan Genovese. Leg Kick 1. JP Roca. It seems like 31 Days of Monsters all over again. Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir. I'm a simple man, he says. I see a video with Graham Nolan. I click on it. And thanks for reminding me. If any of you guys are new, please click that like button and click that subscribe button and join the party, so you'll be informed on when we go live and we broadcast stuff. Chris Uliano is here. Matthew Rex is here. He says, I saw it jump about 10,000 overnight. Any idea what accounted for the quick jump? Yeah, it was being on the show yesterday on Nerdrotic's show. Marcus Kellegrew is here. And that's the thing. You got to go on. You got to go on different platforms and different shows to cross over into different audiences. If you just stay in one place, you're going to get see the same folks. As wonderful as they are in supporting you, as I said, the idea is we got to reach out. We got to get more and more new readers involved. I think sometimes there's a reluctance because of crowdfunding. They've heard horror stories about what that's like. You're entrusting somebody with your money and you're hoping that that's going to translate into product later on. But if any of you are new and you haven't backed it yet, which would mean that you did not get the update today, which I reached out to all the new backers today to tell them what to expect when you back a Compass Comics project. And what separates it from many other crowdfunding is I update you every week. Mondays, usually before noon. You'll get an update of what happened the week before, what got done, maybe what didn't get done, any glitches along the way. But you'll always be kept up to date and know that your investment is still moving forward. I'm available. I put my direct email in there. It's in the campaign too, but I put it in that update. So if you had any concerns or questions or anything, you can reach me directly. What was the third one? The third one was what was the third one? Oh, one of the big ones. I fulfill on time. How about that? When I set a date, I hit that date. I fulfilled 2 projects this year: Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales and Alien Alamo. Both got fulfilled in 2022. Two-Fisted Manly Tales ran into a little glitch with some printing issues, which put it back about a month. But once we got the product, then it was all hands on deck, and bam, we got it out the door. So I just want to allay anybody's fears there. If you had any concerns about that kind of stuff. Huey Long is here. Rex UCF CHEM. Oh, okay. University of Central Florida CHEM. I'm not sure what that stands for. He says it's nice and sunny here in Florida. Okay, that's good. Shitbird Militia says, hot damn. Graham Nolan, hail. Let's see. And thank you, Past Master Dan, for putting the link there in the chat. He also reminds all of us to like and subscribe to the channel. Angry Gamer says, I'm glad to see you on Nerdrotic yesterday and to see these guys finally talking about these indie projects. Yeah, we had a great time talking about it. Mighty Magic is here. Vaughn Coleman is here. Hello, Vaughn. He says, congrats on 6 figures. My friend, you were premature. We haven't hit it yet, unless something's happened that I don't know about. Let's see. Let me do a refresh just to see. Cancel that. Here we go. 9330. Nope, no change. Okay. JP Roca is here. Break those chains, Graham. I'm breaking them. I'm like Superman on those covers, you know. Donnie Pearson is here. My friend Marcus Buckley is here. Congratulations on all your Compass Comics success, my friend. Here's to many more awesome stories in the Nolanverse. Thank you, Marcus. Much appreciated, my friend. The Angry Gamer. I'm not sure if I mentioned him. He says, greetings. Bassmaster Dan says, that or sue you. I missed something there. Bassmaster Dan says, Buff Nolan from all that snow shoveling. Yeah, I wish that would get you a bigger, but you know what it does to a 60-year-old like me? It throws my back out. I was working down at the apron when we had that big snowstorm of 5 feet, and digging. You know, I had the snowblower going back and forth a whole bunch of times, but at the apron it gets really, really heavy and wet, and you got to dig it out. And I got mine done a couple times, and then my neighbor next door, her husband was stuck in Minnesota, so I went over there to help her dig it out, and that was the straw that broke the Nolan's back. It actually ached for about a week. Dan says, Dan Genovese, I would consider myself a new reader. I hadn't backed your previous campaigns, but I made sure to add them when I backed Ghosts of Matecumbe Key. Thank you, Dan. That's what I like to hear. Pete Tui, Hey, Graham, it's like fire tonight. I'm hoping it's like fire this afternoon. We got to get some backers in here. 200-watt studio. Hey, bro. He says hello. Marcus Kellegrew says he's got to make a call. I'll be right back. Oh, I hope he's calling somebody with a lot of money. Maybe he's calling Elon Musk, to tell him to back the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key. Do I have a Compass Comics website? Yeah, compasscomics.com. That's where I put all my, after the campaign ends, books go up there. The prices are higher because the backers get the lowest price. But if you ever missed anything, you can always go over to compasscomics.com and pick up stuff. I'll be putting merch up there soon. I think I got a beanie up there, but I'm going to get shirts and stuff in the store. And the Shinu plushie, I'm supposed to see the first design for that within the next couple days. So that'll be a question of approval. And I'm going to just pre-purchase those. And rather than put them up into a crowdfund, I'm going to put them straight up on the store. So if you haven't done so, make sure you go to compasscomics.com and sign up on the mailing list. If you've backed a project, you're likely on the mailing list already. But if you haven't or you're not sure, just go to the site and it'll come right on up and you can sign up for the newsletter. And then that way you'll be the first to find out when the limited edition Shinu plushies come out. Dr. Massis' first experience with crowdfunding was horrible. Luckily, Graham was my second experience with crowdfunding. Now I am 20 to 30 deep on campaigns. That's good to hear. There we go. Past Master Dan put the website in there. It's very simple. compasscomics.com. Joe Bernardo is here. Hello, hello. Listen to Vaughn. He says, oh, shit. Everyone, get Graham to 6 figures. Come on, guys. Yeah, if everybody in here is already backed it, okay, that's fine. That's great. It's appreciated for sure. You know that. Bring your friends in. Tell them we got this party going on, and we got 670 measly bucks. Which reminds me, and this might help push us over, is that today is the last day for the head sketches if you want them before Christmas. Tomorrow morning, I'll be reaching out to everybody that has booked a head sketch already and asking them, what character they want, and then I'll be getting them done over the weekend and ready to ship on Monday so that everybody has them before Christmas. If you're in the U.S., for sure. If you're overseas, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Michael Deach says it takes talent, guts, and hard work to break away from the corporate teat and make your own way. Respect. Thank you, brother. Buffalo is Native American for snowed in. We all know what San Diego is. Yeah, message this out, guys. Send out your emails, send out your social media. Let's get some people in here, and get some fresh blood, if you will. Hey, Rob Fellows is here from England. Hi, Rob. Great show last night on the Real BBC. People were still praising you on Gary's Nerdrotic Nooner, which ended just now. Oh, well, that was very nice to know. If you know any of those folks, send them over here. now that Gary's show is over. David G says, "Hail, just got here. What did I miss?" Nothing yet. We're just going down through the chat here, saying hi to everybody, and then we're going to go through the campaign, talk a little bit about it. I'm going to share you artwork that's been done so far. I've got, I think, 7 pages inked and 4 pages colored. So we'll share those and we'll show you that stuff. Carlos is here, says hello. All right, so what should we start with? Let's start with artwork, shall we? Let's do that. Well, you know what? Since I got this up, it might be easier if I just do this. Okay. Let's see. Screen. Okay. So there's some faces or names in there that I didn't recognize. So, but we already did the trailer. We played the trailer on the lead-in, so we can just skip that. And we'll go over some of the perk options here if you're considering, backing this. It's a lot of great things at various price points. This is newly added. I think this is a really cool idea. I don't collect slabbed stuff, or at least I should say I haven't collected them, but I just sent in my copies of the Shinu variant, Alien Alamo, the original 1998 Monster Island, and the really, really rare retailer variant. When I came out with Monster Island back in 1998, I had a variant cover that went to retailers that purchased, for every 10 copies that they purchased, they would get one of these signed variants to use as an incentive and to, price it accordingly because it was signed for their customers. So there's not that many of them, and I found a box of them that I still had. So I took one of those also and had it slabbed, and the good folks at CGC are sending those my way. This is my test to see what the books look like. My own books graded and slabbed and stuff. But a lot of people really like this. It keeps the books in mint condition, and you always know its value. Let's say a Ghosts of Matecumbe Key movie comes out, and it's the hottest thing since sliced bread, and the value of that book goes up. Well, now you've got a copy that's an investment copy that the grade is the grade, hasn't degraded rather, and it's sealed and protected, and it holds its value. So I thought that was a really, really kind of cool and different perk to add. And all those these are the signature series. So all these books are signed. And I'm not signing the other books. There's only one other book, which is the black and white one, which we'll get to, that I'm signing. So if you didn't know, this book is the one that ties the universes together. This connects the Shinu, Alien Alamo, and my previous books, Monster Island and Joe Frankenstein. So that universe will now be complete when the story is completed. This is a variant cover, also done by me. This is my send up of the EC comics. And this is a cool one. This is the Creature Features cover. So the insides are the full color stuff, just like the other books, but the outside is black and white and will have a glow in the dark logos on it. I think that's really neat. My good buddy Kelly Jones did this cover. It looks very Jones-ish, creepy and awesome. And this one will be embossed. This figure and the logos will be embossed on this one. And this is the black and white one. This is everything is black and white. There's no color on the inside. It's all the black and white and gray toned artwork as it's originally done before Greg puts his wonderful colors over it. This is for the purist that likes to look at that artwork straight up. Now here's some positions available. I've offered this in every one of my campaigns, and that is the opportunity to become a character in the story. I say become a ghost. You can become a ghost if you like, or you could become a regular character as well. Yeah, that would be your choice. But that was always proved popular, so I put it for this one too. Nobody's claimed one of those yet. And as we get further along in the production of the artwork, that will eventually leave because I won't have those positions to put people in. This is really neat too. This is the challenge coin. Hold on a sec. I'll grab one of those. These have already been minted. And they're really, really cool. Oops. So, well, you know what? Let's. You can see it's gold plated. They're heavy. It's got the title on it and the year it comes out, and those are the Compass Comics logos on either side there. And on the back side, or the front side, I should say, is it says Compass Comics, Ghosts of Matecumbe Key logo, Series 1. So we're going to do one of these coins for each one of the series, so you could collect them all, which will be really cool. All righty. So back to commissions. I don't do commissions during the year. I only offer up my commission list as part of my campaigns, and I reduce the price on them. And this one here is a really good deal because a Compass Comics commission is half the price of a corporate comics commission, and that means that you're going to get 11 by 17 commission, pen and ink, cover quality, just like original cover art. If you choose any one of the Compass Comics characters or IPs, and so that's $750 for that versus the $1,500 for a corporate comics one, which would be Bane, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, whatever. Because I'm tired of promoting those guys, but I know a lot of people like them, and I have no problem doing them because, the folks that request the stuff want the characters the way we love them in the first place. So that's really cool. Here's some color pages by Greg, but we'll show those. Well, I guess they're all here, so yeah, I'll show them right now. One of the fun things that I'm doing in this is all the professionals are going to make cameos in the story. And this right here is Art T. Bear and his dog, Arrow. And he's a security guard here. And he's the first one to encounter a ghost. Sees this guy over by the mangrove swamp, wondering what he's there. If you look, he's wearing older style clothes. And whoops, he disappears and reappears in his true form. So we cut the scene, and we're out in the swamps as the rain continues to come down. And this guy, Tom Beaumont, is poaching. He's out in the waters and he's poaching gators, or trying to, and he misses. And it could be he missed because he's a little high. He's smoking a doobie here, and he can't get it lit, and it can't stay lit because of all the rain. And then he looks over his shoulder. He sees a plane in distress, a flame out of the engine, and then boom, it crashes on the other side of the mangroves there. So he gets his John boat going, and he comes upon the crash site. Obviously, there's no survivors there, but what does survive are these bales, if you will, of cocaine. And so Tom looks at his doobie, tosses that away, and thinks that Santa Claus has come to town. So that is our opening sequence right there. It's a Ghost mini print, drawn by me and colored by CG favorite Dan Lawless. There's an Alien Alamo print. These are the prints that were from the Alien Alamo campaign. Cyberfrog mini print from the campaign as well. Original art. This one is sold. This one is sold. This one's still available. Yeah, so that one's still available. Got some really cool shirts, just like the other campaigns. Sinclair Apparel does an excellent job on these. The quality is incredible. You know, it's got the logos inside and everything. So they're real limited edition shirts, and they look great. And then we got our swag. You can show your love for Compass Comics. So we got bookmarks. This everybody gets. This was a stretch goal. So you got Misty Fahrenheit in this real sexy looking bookmark. The Compass Comics Promise. If you've never backed a Compass Comics book, you're in for a treat. Our books are the highest quality and they fulfill on time. When the campaign goes in demand, you will receive weekly updates every Monday on the status and progress of the project. My personal email is attached to the campaign, and you can reach me directly about any concerns you may have. You, the backers, are what make this possible. We consider you team members, as we are all part of this crowdfunding process of making great comics. We can't do it without you. I can't do it without you. And then if you missed out on the previous campaigns, these are all available as add-ons. Some of these may be gone because there were limited quantities. So just FYI, when you check out, it will show you what's available. The Nolanverse will soon be part of Spin Rack. You've heard us talking about that. And we have our first mobile game, which is going to feature Joe Frankenstein and two of Chuck's properties, Chuck Dixon. And that is Law Dog and My Sister Suprema. We've got a match game, a fighting game, and then we're going to get into Web3 and, the really big, high-level games, amongst other stuff. But we'll talk about that another time. Oh, I got to update this. Ghosts of Matecumbe Key logo sticker has now been unlocked, which is beautiful. So you're going to get the trading card. You're going to get a trading card, which I have not done yet. But everybody who orders a book gets the trading card. You get the Misty Fahrenheit bookmark. You're going to get the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key logo sticker. And if we hit this 100,000, which I'm hoping we will very, very shortly, I'm adding 8 pages of content to it, an epilogue. So there you go. All right, let's do a refresh and see where we're at. See if we had any movement here. All right, we got $13.99 backers and $99,330. Let's try that again. 99,605. Beautiful. So what do we got? $395 away. Picked up 3 backers. Wow, we're getting close now. We're only $300 away. We can do this, people. Let's get everybody on board. Mm-hmm. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, I got a $5 super chat here. Let me see who this is. Shake from Hunger Team. Thank you for that $5 super chat. I know EVS has bad blood with the guys AZ. What their audience, but their audience really came out for you. Yeah, you know what? Everybody's relationship is different. I'm sure there's people who don't like me. No, that's not possible, is it? But everybody's relationships are different, and I don't make judgments, and I don't expect judgments to be made on me by who I choose to hang with. So the guys over at Nerdrotic are just outstanding folks. I had a great time with them, and I couldn't be happier. And they've invited me back to come back whenever I wanted. So I must have done something right. Maybe just been a decent guy. Rob says, "Hey Graham, great show last night on Real BBC. People who are still I read that already. Sorry." Dan backed it twice. Thank you, Dan. Henry Thrun says, "But I don't have any friends." Okay, that's an issue we'll have to address. What about, says Hale Nolan, congrats. Let's save the congrats. We are not there yet. Never congrat until you cross the finish line. Watt Studio says refresh, but that was at 354. I think we're covered there, but I'll do it again. You never know what I missed. No. Okay. Chris wants to know if I'm considering adapting any of my stories as animated features. No, I'm not going to adapt them. But if an animation company wants to adapt them, then that's something we can talk about. Manowar 665, Neighbor of the Beast. Thank you, sir, for that $6.65 super chat. Great show yesterday with you on board, brother. Here's to either a glass of rot gut or a cheap stogie. If you get both at this amount, that's your funeral. Okay. I'll look for sales. How about that? I don't have rot gut here, but I got some nice Woodford, and I want to open this. So all we need is 2 more head sketches. Anybody wants a head sketch, get that order in today, and you will have it before Christmas. A Christmas present for yourself or for someone you love that loves comics. Sam Goyer says, Graham, you, Lopresti, and Tucci consistently deliver on your promises. Alien, Alamo, and Giant Size are 2 of the best CG books, comparable to any graphic novels ever made. High praise indeed. Thank you so much, Sam. And thank you for backing not only my books, but Aaron's and Billy's as well. Keely Chow says, Hail, Graham Nolan. Hail, Keely Chow. Aaron Sarge. Hello, Aaron. I made sure to pick up one of the CGC graded covers. Also went jogging at lunch with sporting my Compass Comics beanie. There you go. Make the world jealous. Chris thinks the Chenoo would be amazing as a feature. I agree. That was written in my mind as a feature film. So we shall see. There is a screenplay right now being written for Joe Frankenstein. And we're hoping to get that across the finish line and into production and into hopefully in theaters within like 2 years. God willing, but we're dealing with Hollywood, so Who knows? Hyper Kaiju got the creature features cover. Cool, cool, cool. Sam says my stream is pixelated. That was at 354 or 57. Must be okay now. Shinu coin for the plushie campaign. Yes, there'll be a Shinu coin. They're going to be Shinu t-shirts, which I didn't do for the original Shinu campaign. And I want a t-shirt. I want a Shinu t-shirt, and I know exactly what image I want to use. We might offer a couple options, but one of them was if you back the Shinu and you got the sticker that came with it, the sticker is like a window frame. Like you're looking out that window on the sticker, and as if you're looking out your window of your house, and the Shinu is right by the window, leaning into it. That with on a black shirt with all the black and the snow coming down, that would look freaking amazing, I think. Rob says the coins look great when you see them shine. Great, thank you. Are you sharing? Oh, did I not? Oh, shit. Okay. So I just went through the campaign and didn't show you anything, did I? Okay. Lordy Lord. Let's do this. Okay. You can see that now, right? Misty Fahrenheit sounds moist and hot. And yes, Marcus, you can use the bookmark when reading Chuck Dixon novels. Absolutely. All right. What's that? Oh, okay. The boss just came down and said, I have another super chat, which I missed. And there it is. Wait, is that the Man of War one? Oh, after? Oh, 200 Watt Studios? Yes. Okay, thank you. That's the fulfillment queen, making sure I fulfill my obligations. And that is catching some of these super chats. 200 Watt Studio, thank you for that $2 super chat. Congrats, Graham. How long have you been in New York? Well, I grew up on Long Island until I was 12. And then my dad retired from the police department, and we ended up in Florida. So when I met Julie, we ended up moving to the Buffalo area. And I've been here now for, let's see, I moved here in 87. So what is that, 35 years? Something like that? Yeah, 35 years I've been in the Buffalo area. All right. Shake the Hunger Team was one of my backers yesterday. Thank you, my friend. Great to have you on board. JP Roca says, only an asshole wouldn't like Graham. Well, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, I read this one. I know EVS has bad blood with the guys, but their audience really came out for you. They absolutely did. Comicsgate backs. Yes, indeed. Uh, Chat is so patient. We here at Compass Comics appreciate your patience. Yes, I do, and I appreciate your understanding of some of my boomerisms as I try to. And I hate that friggin' word, I really do. Uh, but sometimes I mess up, and the thing is I'm looking at a different screen and I'm scrolling through it, and I can't see the screen that you guys see, and evidently the screen that you guys didn't see. So, at the sake or at the risk of sounding like I'm repeating myself, I'm going to repeat myself and now show you the very things I told you about. Okay, so I know this was on the screen, right? So you got to see that when I talked about CGC covers and all that. Okay, and then we have our straight up our main cover here, which is by me and colors by the great Kelsey Shannon. I just love his colors on this. The variant cover by me. This is the one that's an EC send up. And these two covers will, I said that they're all different and they all have special things to them. In the last campaigns, I used stretch goals to push the books to spot UV. And I'm not doing that. I'm just going straight ahead to spot UV and upgrading the pages to a matte finish like I did on Alien Alamo. So you can just assume that these are going to have the spot UV and the matte finish covers, perfect bound covers. Because I want consistency in my books. I love the way they look, and I think everybody else does too. This story is going to be at least 64 pages. When I wrote this, I had to put it down as something. So it's going to be at least 64. It's probably going to be closer to 80 pages. And this is the glow-in-the-dark cover. This is the one I said that will have color interiors, just like the first two. And then the logos here that you see this haze around are going to be glow-in-the-dark. And they're going to be really popping off, looking really cool. Here's Kelly's cover, which is really badass and freaky. I mean, look at this stuff. Look at those bones on the back and the openings here. Kelly's such a master of this. And Kelly's cover is going to be embossed. Now, this is one I really think is cool. If somebody offered this on a campaign, I'd get it because I love to see the artwork in its original form in black and white. And that's what this is. This is the original black and white pages with the gray tones. And I'm going to show you some of those in just a minute as soon as I re-go through the campaign. Okay. Looks like we got maybe one more backer or two here. Excellent. We'll do a refresh as soon as we're done here. Let's see if we've hit anything. Just making sure I don't miss. Okay. All right. So this is the black and white book. It's going to have, like I said, the glow and dark covers and the black and white interiors. This I talked about. There's only 5 slots available for anybody that wants to be a character or a family member. I had a guy buy a spot in the Chenoo for his dad. He bought one for himself and one for his dad, and they got to share the experience together. And I thought that was really, really cool. So it doesn't have to be for you. If you've got a friend, a family member, a child, a kid, well, not too young, who you think would like to be in a story, we'll get their likeness in and their name as well. I showed you guys the coins. And these are just some samples of Compass Comics commissions. These are covers, actually, for some of my books. I explained what those were already. All right, and here's the stuff you guys missed, which was Greg Wright's incredible covers. Let me get rid of that. Okay, because I don't want to be messing up that too. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is RT Bear, one of the professionals. All the guys are going to be making guest appearances in here. In fact, when I show you the black and whites, it's coming up soon for Billy. He's going to be showing up in the next bunch of pages. So if you're watching this, Billy, I'm going to need some photo reference from you, but I'll hit you up for that in the bros room. So I think this is really cool. You know, the dog is barking because it senses something, and he goes out in the pouring rain on this construction site, and he sees this dude standing out there by the edge of the mangrove swamp, and that's Art's dog too, Arrow. You know, the one that bit his nose off. And he sees this guy kind of dressed in old-timey clothes, if you will. And he's telling him you can't be here, blah, blah, blah. And he disappears, and he appears in his true form behind him. Then we cut to this scene, which is the storm is still coming down. If you've ever been in one of those Florida gully washers, you'll know what this was like. And we got a poacher here, Tom Beaumont, and his hound are on a boat, on what's called a John boat. And they're trying to poach a gator, and he misses, probably because he's high or trying to get high. But his fatty there won't stay lit in the rain. And he turns, he sees this plane, and it crashes in the swamp, blowing up. He gets the motor going, that Evinrude going on the old John boat, and he comes across the scene of the flames and the destruction, and he comes across his favorite Christmas presents, which would be cocaine. So he picks the packets up, and then we'll just have to see what happens to him after that. This is the ghost print I talked about, that had by Dan Lawless, the Alien Alamo print from the previous campaign. Same here, previous campaign. Those are leftovers. Got plenty of those to move. This is original art. Both these are gone. This one's still available for the original art collector. And these are the shirts I was trying to show you earlier. One based on the variant cover. The other one is sort of a simple two-tone, which I think looks really cool. It's called Swamp Green, that shirt. A little corporate swag. And then this is, I told you it was a sexy Misty Fahrenheit bookmark, but if you didn't believe me, here it is. And this is the one you could use when you're reading Chuck Dixon's novels. I read this. And then here's the campaigns that if you missed out on, they're available as add-ons. So there we go. Sorry you had to listen through that again, but I suppose there's probably new people in the room that didn't hear it the first time. And let's do a refresh and see how close we are now. All right, 99,605. Can we do it? 99,695. So what? $305, right? Yeah, $305. So that brings me back to what I was saying about the sketches. Let me show you an example of that. The head sketches are 6x9s, so they'll fit right into the mailers. And they look like this. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Present screen. There we go. So these are the head sketches that are popular in every one of my campaigns. You pick the character, and I'll do the head sketch for you. These are available. They'll be available for quite a while. But if you wanted one for yourself, for someone as a gift, then you need to get the order in today. 2 of these is all we need, and we're over the 6K. So if there's any of you guys are out there, or you know anybody that would like one of these, point them in this direction, and we'll get that taken care of. I'll be reaching out to everybody that's backed this tier tomorrow and get their request, and I'll start on them and get them done by the weekend so that they can ship out by Monday, and that way everybody will have them, if you're in the US, by Christmas. Thank you here on the Steadfast for that $5 Canadian super chat. Hail Graham, nice to see you on the Real BBC live stream the other day. More people need to see your comics. Well, you know what? I agree. And that's the whole point of doing various shows and hitting various audiences. Boy, you know you got it bad if Aaron Lepresti's calling me a boomer. The king of the boomers. There we go. Kaiju says Joe Frankenstein screenplay. Holy shit. Past Master Dan says, God, I wish I could start a Comicsgate production company. Dr. Mass says, Shane did a video about mainstream comic creators not being paid for their work for a year. Thoughts? Well, what can you say about that? I would have stopped working a lot longer before a year if I hadn't been paid. You know, I'd hold the artwork back, you know, until I got paid. I guarantee you those editors got paid. I guarantee you those executives at Marvel and DC got paid. I wouldn't stand for that. And I would walk, but it's a moot point because I walked a long time ago, and that's the whole point of doing what we're doing, is so we don't have to deal with that bullshit, that nonsense. The game, you know, they set the rules of the game, and the rules always benefit them. And I'm tired of that. So, you know, I'm going on and setting my own rules for me. It's going to benefit me and my family. And couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. As I said, it's all I wanted to do since I was 12 years old. And I will not be canceled by somebody else. The only person that's going to cancel me is me. You know, if I need to retire or just hang it up or whatever, that'll be my choice, not some punk at a publishing house. Hyper Kaiju says, Shanu shirt, t-shirt, count me in. Yeah. Shanu Hoth Trooper hats? When? Hoth Trooper hats. I don't know what that means. Somebody must have heard Pumpkin when she came down. Marcus Kellegrew, he previously backed cover A. I can't resist Dan Lawless's colors over you. If you're referring to cover A, that's not Dan. That's Kelly. Kelsey rather. Kelsey Shannon. Davina Duckworth. Hello, Davina. Unpaid creators, that is terrible in this inflation. Yeah. And as I said, You know everybody else is getting paid. Okay, finally, I'm getting some props for getting it right. Oh, Sketch 51 says his wife is originally from Wellsville. I've heard of Wellsville. I think it's south of here. Blackjack says the Chenoo was the second campaign I ever backed. Oh, awesome. I hope you had a wonderful experience and that it gave you the confidence to back the other Compass Comics campaigns as well. The legendary David Brohawk Williams, one of my favorite artists, one of the most talented guys in comics, says, "Congrats, King Graham." No, there's no congrats. I haven't hit that number yet. I'm still an also ran. I'm crawling up to that finish line. Like I've run the Boston Marathon, and I'm 26 point whatever miles, and I still haven't crossed the finish line. I got to cross the finish line. And David says, sends his best to the mighty chat. Thank you, David. Horan the Steadfast says, hail chat. JP says, I want to feel every vertebra on Kelly's cover. Yeah, you can. Blackjack, I know it's a little early to ask, but what's after this campaign? Nolan versus Omnibus? Monster Island Omnibus? That's a great question. And the answer is the next book is going to be Return to Monster Island under the Compass Comics banner. The first thing I have to do is get my IPs all under one banner. So the first Monster Island was actually the first Compass Comics book, and that was 1998's Monster Island. And then, I don't know, 4 years ago, Ominous Press did Return to Monster Island, the hardcover version of Monster Island. They did a great job on that. It didn't crowdfund the way that they had hoped. And I've learned a lot since then. And I want to get that now back under the Compass Comics banner, because the one after that is going to be the next new story that comes after Return to Monster Island will be Escape from Monster Island, the third part of the trilogy. And then all three of those will be collected into a Monster Island omnibus, again, all under the Compass Comics banner. There'll also be Joe Frankenstein will be reprinted under the Compass Comics banner as well. There'll be some new stuff added to it, of course, to make it different and collectible. But that'll be the first time Joe is done under the Compass Comics banner as well. So then, as far as new projects go, after those two, which are technically reprints, or new prints under the CC banner, the next new stories will be sequels to that. So it'll be Escape from Monster Island and the next chapter in the Joe Frankenstein story. So I hope that made sense. Davina says the pages look great. Thank you. %. Zed says so close. Soon. Yes, very soon. Hero Guy says, sup, Graham? What's up? All right, let's do a refresh and see just how close we are now, shall we? All right, let me get rid of this. I think we can do this, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's do this. 99, 695. Where are we at? 99, 720. Oh, man. What is that? $280 away from Like Fire. $280. We can do this. We can do this, my friends. Again, get yourself the this one right here, the Nolan Covers Sign CGC. That'll put us over. A head sketch will put us over. Well, actually, no, it won't. It'll leave us a little short. But you know, you get the point, right? There's other add-ons that we could get in there and get us over that top. So we are so close. We broke the 1400 barrier on the backers, which is fantastic. And you know what? Let's go ahead and share the black and white pages, and then we'll come back and refresh this again. Because these look really cool. Here we go. Share. Okay. Okay, so here's our first page. Now, again, some of these you are actually. Let me get this back down a little bit. There we go. You saw these in color, so now you're going to see them with the gray tones. So the first four are the ones that you saw. And these will be printed just like this in the black and white version. Okay, and so here's some new pages, 3 new pages you haven't seen in color because they're still being worked on. So here's the first appearance of Misty and Meathead, the M&M investigating team. Misty and Mike Meathead Rutowski are an item, a couple, if you will, and they have a investigation firm, and they deal in typical, you know, criminal investigation type stuff, divorce things, you know, missing persons, you know, the usual stuff. And they've fallen on hard times. There's not much there. Misty also happens to be clairvoyant, if you will. She's in touch with the spirit world, which is what is going to make sense later on, because the spirits are going to reach out to her specifically. And so they're in their office at M&M, and in walk these 2 characters. This is Benny and Snake. And Benny and Snake are emissaries, if you will, for a crime lord known as the Manatee, or his real name is Vincent Mantee, but he's called the Manatee because he has scars on his face like every manatee does in Florida from boat props. So they come in, and they're very menacing and smarmy at the same time. Now, Mike was a former MMA. He was a former Marine and an MMA fighter, UFC, and Misty was a former ring girl, and that's where they met. So that's a little bit of their backstory. This is Snake, the guy in the cowboy hat, and the Cuban dude is Benny. And Benny's about to get his nuts shot off. So they try to de-escalate here. He explains why they're there, what they want to do, and blah, blah, blah. Scalar Deidix with sigmoid Freund. Oh my God, that's a mouthful. But thank you so much for that $20 super chat. That is a good cigar, sir. Just back to you. Looking forward to your next refresh. Ooh, uh-oh. Okay. We gotta do that. Okay. This was the last page, so that's good timing. So we're going to stop that screen. We're going to go into our share. All right, here we go. $99,720. All right, hitting that refresh button. $99,720. Oh, we did it, my friends. It is like fire. Okay, we're gonna have to get that video up. I should have had it queued up. Oh man, that is awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's break out the booze, if you will. We hit it. Julie's down here. Here, get your glass in here in the screen. There it is. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You want to come on screen? Thank everybody.
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Julie, the fulfillment queen.
Way to go.
With her glass of wine and our whiskey. And Pumpkin is down there making noises too. We all thank you.
You're the
very
best.
much. You guys are
Thanks,
awesome.
Guys.
Cheers to you. Outstanding. Fantastic. There it is. 6 figures, young lady. Okay, I know people are going to hate this, but we got to do it, right? Like fire. Right, Gunther, there it is. All right. I'm going to.
Lightsabers are finally a real.
Okay. Let me just grab this really quick. Edit. Copy. Paste and go. Okay. Oh, we don't have sound here. Why is that? Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Can you guys hear the sound? Do you want to hear the sound? Hey, Shane.
Hey, can you hear me?
You're just in time for Gunther.
I'm at my work terminal, so I don't have the normal setup here.
The great Shane Davis has joined us for the party.
What happened? Did you hit 6 figures?
Normie Nerd hates this song.
A lot of people hate this song, Graham. Where's your campaign at?
See, Billy's missing out on his walleye girlfriend. We lost Shane. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. All right. Hey, Shane's back. Hey,
All
hey,
right,
Shane.
I'm at my right terminal now, so can you hear me?
Yeah, your volume's a little low.
All right, let me fix this. What about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Yeah, I have like
Yeah.
cats that walk on my desk. So there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
One of those artists. Where's your campaign at? Where's your campaign at?
Let's see. Well, I took it down because I had to play Gunther, but let me present it again.
You don't have to play Gunther. It's just people expect it.
They want it. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There we go. All right. I'm going to do another refresh. So, can you see that?
That is a smooth 6 figures, sir.
Yes,
Congratulations.
sir. Thank you. Oh, it just went up again. We're at 100, 105. 6 figures, young lady. Outstanding. I can't thank my backers enough for having faith in me and in the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key and Compass Comics and in the Comicsgate. So, as hard as they try to ban us, we're still winning, and it's a great thing.
That's the
It's
important thing, right?
I'm sorry?
That's the important part, is to still be winning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, it makes it a little bit sweeter, I have to say, when you know that people are surreptitiously, trying to cancel you, and don't have the balls to confront you directly. They just pretend it didn't happen, and they won't. And that's the most aggravating part, is they won't answer any questions.
Yeah.
So, to excel and to win under those conditions, it's fantastic. And you guys in the chat and those who have previously backed, you're the key to all this. You're making it happen, and it shows your passion is as great as our passion for this art form. When did you know you wanted to be a comic guy?
This is a testament of the community for sure. Like, seeing this campaign come together, it hit 6 figures despite, the lack of, the searchability of these campaigns and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Had a lot of new backers come in who didn't know about the campaign yesterday when I was on Nerdrotic's real BBC show. And, just getting that link out was enough. And being on the show, and I met a whole bunch of new and wonderful backers, and and told them the story, and they don't want to be canceled either, which is awesome. Our success is your success. It's saying you won't stand for that kind of nonsense, and it is greatly appreciated because, as I mentioned earlier, this is what I wanted to do from the time I was 12. When did you know you wanted to be in comics, Shane? Did you always know, or? No,
it was around the same time. I mean, it was probably around like, I don't know, 12, maybe 8. Like, basically I was like, hey, I like cartoons. I want to be an animator. And then once I figured out they have to draw the same thing a million times, I was like, right, I think I'd rather be a comic artist.
Yeah. Did you have Milt Neal?
Did I have what?
Milt Neal at the Cubit School?
No.
Oh, okay.
Was he an animation teacher?
Yeah, he was a former Disney guy who worked on Cinderella and a lot of those early.
So he had just left when I came. I remember hearing about him, and we ended up with this other guy, and I can't remember his name, but he had worked on certain things like the Ace Ventura cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Not more like I kind of also want to think he really wasn't an animator as much as he was like a guy that understood animation and was just hiring out, you know. So like I had heard about this other animation teacher and really wish I had him at the time, but yeah, I know who you're talking about, but no, I never had him.
Yeah, he used to tell us about all the porno cartoons that they used to make with Disney characters on their free time.
It's horrible. I mean, you kind of expect that, right? But like,
Yeah,
did that stuff ever make it out of the studio?
I don't think so.
Ah,
I don't
that'd
think
be,
so. I think that was a tight knit group who were like, you know what? If this ever got out, we'd be screwed.
yeah. Yeah. Well, there's the whole, those debates and shams with like Little Mermaid and stuff, right? Where there's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. And you always wonder if that stuff's true, but you kind of believe it. It's probably, it's not an accident. It's just not a phallic object that randomly is in the castle.
Yeah, yeah.
But so where are you at on the book? I know you've been working away on it.
Yeah. Let's see. I got 7 pages inked, almost 8, and 10 pages laid out. So I tend to do things in 10-page increments. I'll lay them out, and then I'll start penciling them. And once I get 1 or 2 pages penciled, I go ahead and I ink those. Then I send those on to Greg, and then I rinse and repeat and start all over again.
I usually lay things out around 6 pages at a time. But I kind of pace out the whole book, so I like know where everything's at and how many pages I have to dedicate to one scene and stuff. So,
do you write a full script for yourself?
No.
Okay.
I have written full scripts. I just don't for myself. Like I just know what has to happen in the 3 or 4 pages, and then I kind of break it down and lay out and write the scene as one, and see what flows and what I can make the most out of the space and the information I can get out of it. And then after it's penciled and stuff, I kind of have an idea of what's being said. Like I have like little notes and stuff, so I know how much room to leave for lettering. And yeah, and then after it's penciled, and inked, I letter it. So that's kind of my working process. There for a while, I was working kind of like that on Metal Men with Dan. DC was trying to do this plot type system, but it was really corrupted because they would want to see your layouts, and then from your layouts they would restructure your layouts, and it was like that's not how working plot works.
Who would want to restructure your layouts?
I know, tell me, right? That's why. I mean,
which genius of storytelling was going to rework
your
layouts?
Well, I mean that's the whole thing. Like that I had a big issue with is because it's like, well, the DC Comics, it's like, they didn't really have like a an art director at the time, so it's like who.
Yeah, they fired a really good one.
yeah, and then at the same time I was sitting here explaining to them like what an inset panel was and stuff. Is like, okay, so wait, why are you restructuring my layouts if I'm having to explain to you simple knowledgeable like storytelling mechanisms in comics? It was like who's like, what is this? It was just really weird, but it was what it was. I mean, like I learned that that it was a an effed up system. Like it wasn't going to last, and the way they're running, and it's so weird looking back at it. It's like there's still a company without an art director. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like
a company who publishes art, stories that are predicated on the art, doesn't have an art director.
Well, I mean, it goes to show how much they actually think the art is important, or they invest in the artwork itself. It's like, I don't know. It's like they really take the idea that the artwork like they take it for granted. Like people just will like comics because it's funny pictures drawn, not because it's either done well or done correctly, or that there's really little to no appreciation for the medium. I feel like right now at DC Comics for sure, or Marvel. I mean, it's not exclusive to one of the.
To them, it's all about IP mining. To us, it's all about story. It's all about telling great stories, regardless of what genre you want to work in. there's a market for it out there. I haven't done any superhero stuff. I just feel there's a glut of superhero options for anybody that likes that particular genre. And I played in that sandbox for almost 40 years, and I wanted to do genres that aren't tapped, that are missing, that used to be part of comics, and that's why I've gone in the direction I've gone, and even doing cross genre like Alien Alamo, which is basically a sci-fi western. I love that kind of stuff. That's not to say I won't ever do a superhero story if the idea comes to me of something that hasn't been done before, or I can think of a twist to make it different. Then yeah, I'll do one. But we're producing comics. The independents and the CG crowd are producing comics because we love the art form, we love the medium, and we want to tell these great stories, and that nobody else is telling. And that's exciting to me.
Yeah, I mean, there is like a energy right now in the independent scene. I came across this the other day. Somebody was one of their big criticisms of Inglorious Rex was it wasn't a superhero book, and that the big criticism is why am I not doing superheroes? And I think they even went to the angle like, well, if I would just do a nice Superman knockoff or superhero book, I'd be bringing those people over here. And I'm like, I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think like it's really easy to those superhero fans, like they're kind of dialed. I don't know, they're kind of burnt and they're like, I don't know, me doing like a Superman knockoff would be a solution for anybody. Like I don't, I mean, or a superhero book for that matter, because I can't control the popularity of that medium right now. Like it's hijacked by leftists and SJWs with the corporate comic scene. Like I don't know, man. Like I'm sure I'd like to do a superhero book one day again, but I'm right now just trying to say like, what's a book that I can still use all the skills of superhero comics, like and draw the anatomy and draw the cityscapes and the fun sci-fi stuff I like in superhero books, and at least for me. And then I have all the bells and whistles of superhero books without being a superhero book, because even at DC, that DC's was to me as a kind of stronger when they had more investments outside of superheroes back in the day with like Weird War Tales, and anthologies and other things. And even like some of their characters, like if you take like the Demon or Spectre, they were kind of like not your normal superhero book. They were more like I don't know, what would you call the Spectre back in the day? Like that was more like well, not in the day, but you know what I mean? Like that Spectre run would have been more like, would you call that a type of horror comic? Like what would you call that?
You mean like when Jim Aparo did it in Adventure Comics?
Well, no. I'm talking about I can't.
Or when
Tom
he first came
Mandrake
out
was
in the
working on it. Tom Mandrake and
that was more of a horror. But the Spectre started off basically as a superhero comic with supernatural aspects. And the same was when Jim Aparo and Michael Fleischer did that incredible historic run in Adventure Comics. That's when it got a little edgy,
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, even in like I like Ghost Rider and Marvel, like I like I liked some of these characters that were on the edge of being anti-heroes or whatever you want to call them, the Punisher, so like I'm not even sure a straight superhero works on its own. Like I'm not, I mean, I think it does, but I here at this time, I mean, there could be upcoming superhero fatigue, like the movies, it's a lot.
It's like westerns in the 1950s. There's just a glut, and your palate gets numb to it, and you want something different, and then then without it, it starts to come back again. It's just oversaturated.
Yeah, but I mean, technically comics should be able to tell any type of story. It shouldn't have to be like superheroes. I mean, like you should be able to, there's been great Western comics done. There's been great horror comics done. There's been great romance comics done. Like
That's a genre that I'm interested in tackling at some
yeah.
point. Is a romance comic.
I've been curious about it myself, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of monster comics is kind of was a thing I've been into like lately. Just idea like I remember the old Kirby monsters and stuff, and I even Dan when we were working on Metal Man, he was trying to work more of that into comics, and it's like I don't know, like it kind of because DC Comics had like weird monster characters that they never would roll out, like but of course Marvel has a bunch of them too, a bunch of Kirby monsters.
Yeah, like Fin Fang Foom and
yeah. Well, they
Goro.
were using Devil Dinosaur, but they used to be things like Devil Dinosaur, and Groot was originally a Kirby monster.
Yeah.
Which is now a completely different thing than what Kirby had created. But still, it's like it got me thinking. Like comics used to be this thing where it could just be like it was could be so diverse, whether it was or wasn't. I'm just not sure when I'll do a superhero book again, I guess.
Well, if the criticism that was leveled at you is predicated on the idea that you doing a superhero book will bring people over from DC Comics to check out your new superhero comic, that's a fallacy. That just ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
They'll come over to follow you, whatever you're doing, if they're going to come over at all.
Yeah.
The people that are still reading DC Comics right now are not looking for the kind of stuff we're doing because they're invested in the shit that DC and Marvel are putting out. That's why they're still there. They have not decided to look elsewhere for greener pastures and to investigate what's happening in this movement of creative independence. So they're locked in. They've drank the Kool-Aid on that kind of storytelling, and that's fine. If they want to stay there, that's great. But that market is so small, and it continues to shrink. But there's so many people that loved comics in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s too, that now, like we as artists felt alienated, are feeling alienated from this hobby and this collector thing and the enjoyment that they used to get. And now those people, these very people right here in this chat, represent a small population of that are looking for new ideas, new stories, and not derivative shit and rolling out new versions of old characters.
Mm-hmm. That is an interesting thing, though, is like there is so much derivative stuff happening at Marvel and DC, like right now, that they're pumping out time and time again.
It's entirely derivative. It's okay, here's a new reboot of Batman. Here's the new version of Aqualad, and guess what? He's gay now. And everything is a derivation of everything that happened before. There's no reason for them to expand because executives can't do that. B, there's no incentive for creatives to do that because what's the incentive of me giving you a great idea? Whether it's working something into a legacy character, like creating a new villain or a new character that's going to push the Flash to new things or whatever, or creating something brand new. They're not willing to take the risk of promoting a project and launching something that's brand new. Let's just call him Bourbon Man for sake of an argument, just to have it flop on them. So all they want is derivation. They want derivative aspects of things that have pre-existed. It's like McDonald's. You're not going to get a gourmet burger, but some people like to know that burger, whether I eat it in Florida or in Kentucky, is the same damn burger.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing with their IPs and their characters now. Is they've McDonaldized them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very much true. Well, yeah, that is the thing. I've kind of noticed that in the way they're treating the products they're putting out, they're putting about the same or less than McDonald's quality into it. Like, I don't. There's been a few projects coming out that are like outliers to that, like the Silvestri Batman thing or Spawn Batman with Greg Capullo, but they're again like I those deals were done a long time ago. Like I don't see
Right.
anything that DC's doing right now that is any confidence that they're investing in just DC Comics period. And that's really bad when a company won't invest in itself, because that's one of the things a company has to do is always be investing and growing in
Mhm.
itself.
Well, look at it this way. If I was the president of DC Comics and it was bought by, I don't know who owns it now, Discovery? Is that
Yeah,
right?
Discovery, yeah.
Okay. So Discovery comes in, they buys it, and Discovery buys it because they're interested in the IPs. So what has more value to that company? More IPs. So if I'm going to uh, have IPs that they want to use in big budget films and TV shows and stuff, it would behoove me to create more opportunities for the larger corporation to have more stuff. And you could say, well, there's 80 some odd years of DC backlog, but a lot of people don't give a shit about Slam Bradley uh, and some of these early DC characters. So they're always looking for something new. I would give incentive. I would incentivize creators to come and work for my company so you could get the big names, pay them the money to come up with concepts and ideas that are new, that are not Batman related or Superman related, like they did in the 70s. And all of a sudden you had the Ghost Rider and Son of Satan and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And, that was all new stuff. And then at some point around the 1980s, that stuff stopped and nobody was
Yeah.
bringing ideas, and really since then, there's not been a lot of growth in new material coming out of any of those companies.
Yeah, there's like these spurts. I mean, I guess like when Jim Lee was on X-Men, there was like some new characters being made that were super popular. They kind of got a version of Rogue people really liked, Gambit and stuff. And then around that same time, Venom was being made by Todd McFarlane or what, I don't know, all the I mean, whenever there's a bunch of new characters injected in these companies, you'll notice that there's a big spike of interest. Like, because I was working around that Green Lantern color spectrum stuff a little bit around the same time Ethan was. And Green Lantern, not a top selling book, automatically was a top selling book because of this whole color spectrum and all these new bad guys with power rings that were different colors and stuff. It was like all of a sudden a top selling, book with the Sinestro Corps war. And then from there, like Blackest Night. I mean, that's probably like, I don't know if maybe one of DC's top selling points. And again, it was just a million new characters just being injected into the whole Green Lantern sphere / DC Comics universe.
Again, they're all derivative. They're all
derivative. They did give me equity on a lot of the Red Lanterns I created, but yeah, in the end, they're all derivative off of a power ring, like, and what that means, but they were unique enough that DC was like, okay, well, these are new characters. As long as you guys come up with origin stories for them. Again, it is derivative, but it's something that mainstream comics, I think it's the thing that in hindsight, people, if they investigate, they'll notice that's what killed mainstream comics is the lack of rewarding people to bring new ideas to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to highlight this here. Blackjacks is one of the best runs out there. Is the original run of Luke Cage. H4H. I don't know.
Heroes for Hire.
Heroes for Hire. Hero for Hire. Yeah, Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. Started by Archie Goodwin and George Tuska. It isn't great because he's black. It's great because it's a great character with great stories. And I just want to touch on that because that's something I've always railed against is tokenism, is race swapping a character, gender swapping a character to pander to certain groups because you don't want to do the heavy lifting of creating a great and interesting character. And as Blackjack says, Luke Cage is an interesting character. You can't not want to read about this guy. You know, he's got superpowers, and sort of like Spider-Man on day one in Amazing Fantasy 15, he figures, well, I got all these skills, you know, I'm going to make bank on this. And Luke Cage does, you know, he hires himself out, you know, and it fit in perfectly with that whole 70s blaxploitation films and stuff. And Luke Cage is a great and interesting character. Same thing with the Black Panther. He was the king of this super sophisticated African nation. And he wasn't just a token. You plug it in here, you plug it in there. They did the work and they created an entire world around this character that made him interesting. And that's all anybody cares about. Because as I've said before, comics are inspirational and aspirational. They don't have to be inclusive. You know, as I said on the show the other day, I can't relate to being a farmer in Kansas. And I'm certainly not from another planet. But I can relate to Superman and his ideals. And so I don't have to put myself in his place to make it to enjoy reading stories about that character. And I think there's a problem in modern comics is that they try to get representation. And that was the word I was actually looking for was aspirational, inspirational, not representational.
I mean, comics are supposed to be a form of escapism. Any type of entertainment is.
Right.
I mean, I mean, basically, you don't turn on a movie or read a comic or play a video game to look in a mirror. I mean, I don't understand this thought process. Like it,
right?
And I don't see great cash returns on any of these things that go after it, but they keep going after that apple every time they keep lunging for it, and it's like, I mean, it's like, come on, where's the hit? Where's the big comic book hit? Where's the big movie hit based off of this representation move? I just don't see it, but they keep going for it. It's insane.
Well, movies are the exact same way, Shane. And because movie companies own these Marvel and DC IPs, it's very easy to see how the two are the same because movies don't want to take a risk either. There's so much money invested in a film that they want something that's like comfort food. They want something you recognize. So that's why you get so many remakes and so many sequels to successful franchises, and each one is watered down beyond the next one or the previous one. And there's no originality. You know, I'll bet you there is a shit ton of really great scripts out there floating around that don't get bid on because they're original.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and you know, Hollywood is kind of like they imitate success, and that's weird. I feel like I was talking about this the other night, but it's like with the Top Gun success, I still haven't yet seen Hollywood try to put out another movie that's just like kind of that type of vibe, type of let's just go back and make money and make a good movie that the average man can watch, you know, and not be woke. Like I mean, maybe we'll see it in 6 months or something. Maybe I'm just missing it. But I haven't seen mainstream Hollywood say, like, look at the box office on this. Why aren't we doing more of that? Like, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it. I mean, all I hear is everybody's talking about, you know, the success of it. And that's very clear that it is the most successful movie of the year. in typical Hollywood, they're not reading the tarot cards. You know, they're not seeing that what it is that's making it so successful. They're trying to make excuses for it. Well, it was Tom Cruise. He's a big, huge movie star, and he draws them in. And no, he doesn't always draw them in. He's a big movie star.
I mean, a lot of his movies are misses. I mean, they do okay. They do. I mean, his average is really good, but you know, like not every movie is like a big success. I mean, I think is it Oblivion or something like that? A sci-fi movie of his the other day. It's up on Netflix. I was like, I don't remember that thing being a big hit, but it's got Morgan Freeman in it and some stuff. But it's solid to watch. But it's like, you know, it's just like he generally makes good movies, even the ones that aren't classics or aren't great. They're still average. The average is good. But Top Gun,
that was a complete
to do with film. I definitely think the content in Top Gun was what made that movie, you know, what it was.
Oh, absolutely. It was what people go to movies for. They want to feel good. They want to be. They want their feelings validated when it comes to their country. And it was very pro-American. It was had great drama, had great character relationships, and you know, I just feel like, you know, that's what the popcorn eating public was looking for, was this great popcorn film where you walk out and you go, yeah, instead of walking out and going, ugh, well, I feel like shit now.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't want to read a comic or, you know, to watch a movie to feel bad about themselves. I mean, you know, they probably already feel bad about themselves. That's why they're looking for some escapism. You know, people have real world problems, you know, like bills, you know, relationship problems, whatever, you know, the family problems, and they turn on these things just to see something, to see another character have problems, you know, that has nothing to do with them, and to see them overcome those problems, to come away with morals, inspiration, and be entertained. It is really simple. I mean, it's all that's what's so weird. It's, you know, the hero's journey. It's a very simple formula to follow, but somehow, like, it's really not the case anymore.
Right. Hey, John Orchard, thank you for that $5 super chat. I found out about your channel yesterday from the Real BBC live stream. I subscribed, and here's some cash. You're my new best friend, John. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Welcome to the channel, and I hope you'll stick around and enjoy the streams, and you'll back Matecumbe Key if you haven't done so already. So thank you, John.
There you go. I'm actually gonna have to run. I gotta run some errands. I think I was supposed to be on another channel tonight, so I gotta run some Christmas errands. Congratulations on 6 figures, Graham.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you for coming in. Great to have you, and Merry Christmas, and good luck with your shopping.
Yep. Take care, man. Bye.
All right, buddy. See ya. All right. Hey, everybody. That was a lot of fun. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it because I know you guys. You're awesome, and I knew we were going to hit that number. I have another show, a podcast I got to do at 6:30. So I'm going to close this one down and grab some dinner and all that kind of fun stuff before I do that show. But thank you so much, everybody that came in here. I see a lot of fresh faces, and that is always encouraging. If you haven't done so, please hit the like button and hit the subscription button, and subscribe to the channel so you'll get notified when I'm doing new shows and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to say that if you backed the Ghosts, you won't be sorry. You're going to love this story. It covers so many bases that you would love in comics: action, adventure, romance, crime, ghost, mystery. All of that stuff is in here. Great locations. You're going to love the art. You're going to love the color. And like every one of my things, it's a passion project. Because as I said, I love this art form. If you ever watch my show, The Storytellers, you'll get an idea because I'm always talking about the greats of the past and modern greats as well. In their approach to narrative storytelling and visual storytelling, and it's a great passion of mine. In fact, I just want to give a quick little plug. Next Wednesday, because Wednesday is typically when I do the storytellers, that I'm going to be doing a show on John Buscema. Now, before you say, "Oh, John Buscema, Marvel, superstar," I'm going to be talking about John Buscema pre-Marvel, when he was doing stuff for other companies before he discovered Jack Kirby. And we're going to be showing, I'm going to have Joe Jusko, the great painter, and John and JB was a huge influence on Joe. I'm going to have Joe on. He's very knowledgeable about that era as well. And we're going to talk and compare and contrast the John Buscema before he got Kirbyfied. That's a word now. He got Kirbyfied. And look at his artwork, because obviously the man was an incredible draftsman. But when you look at his work pre-Kirbyfying, you can see the great draftsmanship, but also the things that were sort of flat and boring and typical of the area. Maybe it was better drawn, but it wasn't dynamic. And then once he started studying Kirby layouts and stuff, John Buscema took it to a whole nother level, because he brought that draftsmanship with him and that storytelling, that balls to the wall storytelling. So that's going to be a fun show. So that'll be next week. I got a quick super chat here from my friend Eric the Guapo for $5. Thank you, Eric. Graham, you are the coolest thousandaire I know. 100,000-aire. No, it's not 100,000. Right? Yeah, it is 100,000. Yeah, 100,000-aire. Thank you, Eric. Very appreciative. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Artist Avenue says, support Graham Nolan. He actually delivers great comics. I couldn't disagree with that statement. But thank you, Artist Av. Really appreciate that. Oh, yeah. Conan Black and Whites. Killer. Johnny Slackton asks a very good question. Not to be a pest. You're not being a pest. How much is left in this Indiegogo campaign? In other words, how much longer will it be up? I keep it up until I'm ready to fulfill. So the fulfillment date is scheduled for August. If I stay on track, I might be able to, and I got no issues with supply chain issues or problems with printing, I may have it done sooner, in which case it would be closed sooner. So the short and easy answer is, when I'm ready to go into fulfillment, that's when it'll close. So you have some time, no doubt about it. I mean, I'm only working on, like, what I say, page 8. What we show, page 8, something like that, 7. So you have time. If you haven't been able to back it yet and you're waiting, I understand. In this economy, things are tight, and you gotta take care of your stuff. No problem. We'll be here for you, and just know that I appreciate it if and when you can jump on board. So thank you for that. Oh, and Johnny just responded. Awesome. I'm 100% backing this. Just wanted to make sure it's up when I get paid on Friday. Oh, yeah. Friday, you're good to go, Johnny. And thank you so much. Much appreciated. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for coming in here and celebrating with us and helping us get past that finish line. Well, not finish line. We want to go further and further. But that's certainly it's certainly a marker particularly in crowdfunding. If you can hit that 6-figure number, that goes a long way in making a campaign successful. Because don't forget that number, that 6-figure number also includes all the postage and everything. And that stuff is expensive, and it comes off right off the top. So the higher these things go, the much better it is. I don't see how people can actually, fund a book on $20,000-$30,000. Just the amount of time it takes to produce it, to make sure you can keep the lights on, all of that, and then pay for, even if you did everything yourself, like pretty much I do, except for the coloring and the lettering, how you can do that with that little and still pay the printer, because those numbers are locked in stone, and the same with the shipping, and those numbers just still go up. So I'm going a long way around the barn to say that you guys are awesome, and you make it happen, and and I want you to know that you guys are family. You're part of Compass Comics family, and if you need anything, reach out to me. My email is right in there. It's graham@compasscomics.com. Any questions, any concerns, drop me a note. So until then, thanks so much, guys. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.